Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Eagle Politics. Make sure you guys like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So guys, it may actually be happening. Donald Trump's purchase of Greenland, it's been talked about for a long time, but now it finally seems as if the pieces are being put together, and the leadership of Greenland, not only have they expressed disillusionment with being tied to Denmark, now they say they're ready to come to the table and talk with Donald Trump after Donald Trump has been talking about acquiring Greenland. He brought it up in 2019. It's been talked about on and off ever since, but he's really been hammering it home lately as he's about to take the oath of office in just 9 days from today. But this is absolutely huge. And I don't think people realize it because this was talked about. It was laughed off as a joke. A lot of people on the Democrat side think it's like a waste of time, but mainly they're not thinking it through. They're just like, oh, well, Donald Trump wants to do something. It's a little out of the box. Therefore, we shouldn't do it. Therefore, he's crazy. That's how these people operate. We know that by now, but still, he may actually get it done. He's talked about it, and now it seems like it's very close to reality because we understand that these individuals, the leadership of Greenland, they've been upset with Denmark for a while. And it is also true that they do prefer independence. That is, something they've talked about. They've said, we're not going to join the U.S. But here's the deal. When these people are talking about meeting with Trump, when they're talking about wanting independence from Denmark, they don't really like their relationship the way it stands right now. They probably are not going to be able to sustain themselves on their own. They're a country of just 50,000 people or so. Basically, the same amount of people watched in terms of the number of people my video I made about Greenland a few days ago than the entire population of Greenland. That's absolutely insane, but it's true. 57,000 people, not even, live in Greenland. So it's not like it's this country that's going to be able to likely sustain itself. They're likely going to need subsidies, and they likely will be able to come to the table. If Donald Trump wants Greenland, there likely could be a deal that they will be able to strike. Because when you only have 57,000 people, give every resident like $1 million or so, you'll be able to have the island. If the island is able to maintain some sort of independence from Denmark, if they don't want anything to do with Denmark, if they would prefer to join the United States at that point, it's very likely that it could happen. I mean, this is something that's common sense, too. It would make sense, and a lot of people that just have this knee-jerk reaction to oppose every little thing Donald Trump does, they don't understand it. They really don't. Even John Fetterman, who we talked about in the last video, he has likened Donald Trump's push for Greenland, which is basically manifest destiny, to the Louisiana Purchase, saying, we should have a responsible conversation about this. And like Fetterman or not, trust Fetterman or not, he's 100% right because it makes sense. It really does. It's been talked about for a while, and Donald Trump is somebody that wants to get it done. He's somebody that I think can get it done. He's the master of the art of the deal. He can strike a deal with Denmark, Greenland, you name it, to make sure that we're going to be able to get access to Greenland, make it a territory. It's not big enough to be a state, but still, when it comes down to just strategic control of the region, you can have Greenland, you can have those shipping lanes which are opening up as the Arctic is thawing. It's just common sense that you'd want to take advantage of that. On top of it, there's, billions, if not more than that in resources. You can increase your military presence in the region, increase the access to the Arctic. Russia's going after the Arctic. China's going after the Arctic. The United States doesn't really have that much access. They have Alaska, but if you get Greenland, that would be huge. That'd be a huge, massive presence in the region, in the North Atlantic area, because Canada has a lot of control. I know Donald Trump has talked about Canada. That seems a lot less likely. It does seem as if, if anything, he's going to probably try to enter some economic union with Canada, which might make more sense. And then maybe if he wants to down the road, if Canada is willing, make him a territory. I don't know how that's going to shake out. But still, if you talk about the control of the region, that's another big reason. Natural resources as well, just the general territorial expansion. People talk about the last frontier. being Alaska. Well, maybe Greenland could very well be that as well. A lot of people laughed off the purchase of Alaska at the time. Look what it is now. Greenland is something that I think is a little bit more serious behind all the memes, but still, it is definitely a region. It's definitely an island that the U.S. would like to control, and it just makes sense. If you talk about, oh, well, what if we, go and try to make Canada the 51st state, there's going to be criticism there because, first of all, Canada doesn't really want to do it, for one, and for two, you would have plenty more Democrat, liberal congressional districts. You basically have another California to the north of us. Even certain parts of Alberta and Saskatchewan, they're not exactly as conservative as people might think, even if they would vote, slightly Republican if they were able to come into the Union. But still, territorial-wise, if they become a territory, I think it would be great. But is it that feasible? Probably not. But you're talking about Greenland, you're talking about the Panama Canal. Those are very feasible, especially Greenland, because, Denmark, they've been, saying, oh, we want Greenland, but Greenland doesn't want Denmark. The United States can push any other nation the size of Denmark around, if we're going to be honest with each other. It's not like they're not a major power player, and on top of it, they also are not very popular in Greenland, which is why Greenland leadership is ready to talk to Donald Trump, which it's kind of all coming together at the right time. And we saw Don Jr. over the past week. He was in Greenland. He visited Greenland. He met with some of the locals. Some of the locals do tend to like Donald Trump. There's pictures of him with Greenlanders wearing the Make America Great Again hats on. I don't know what percentage of Greenland really likes Donald Trump or wants to become a part of the U.S., but it's very clear that their relationship with Denmark isn't all that solid right now. And as a result, it does seem as if the U.S. would be, coming in at an opportune time, even if they do prefer independence, to eventually cede ground and make a deal with the U.S. And this is kind of what happened with Texas. Texas was its own country when they gained independence from Mexico. Then the U.S. came, later down the line, and they annexed Texas. Texas became a part of the Union. They became another state. And while I don't think Greenland's going to become a state, they could very well take a very similar path because it's unlikely that they're going to be able to survive and sustain themselves on their own, especially when the U.S. could put together a good deal and make life better for the people that are living on the island. And people will say, well, we're just, subsidizing other people that aren't really Americans. But at the end of the day, the amount of resources we get access to in the process is just absolutely insane. You're talking about oil, you're talking about other natural resources that we would absolutely love to have. And on top of it, you have a lot of people that are like, well, Donald Trump wants to buy Greenland. He should be talking about lowering prices of groceries like he campaigned on, or that's why he won. Well, first of all, there's plenty of reasons why he won. But at the end of the day, it's like this would actually help lower prices, because you talk about the number one driver of inflation is arguably energy. That's why it was worse, not just because of the COVID spending, but it got way worse when Russia went into Ukraine, and that was also because of our own incompetent leadership. And then Biden didn't want to buy their oil anymore, so he decided to just allow the gas prices to increase because there was a little bit of a shortage. So prices went up, as is, basic economics. And that kind of definitely put a wrench in things. And while we have been trying to drill a little bit more, it hasn't nearly been enough. So if we're talking about getting more oil, getting more access to oil, that would definitely be something that could bring down the cost of everyday goods, because every single thing you buy definitely goes through the process of energy, whether if it's on the farm or just the basic transportation. So it would make sense to increase the amount of energy we have available to us. May not happen overnight, and that's okay, so long as we're able to work towards it over the next 4 years. And we will start to see the return on the investment there. And if we're able to go to Greenland, we're able to, drill in Greenland, that would be absolutely a win for that. So you can walk and chew gum at the same time is basically the main point. But Greenland, they're coming to the table. And Donald Trump has talked about it. A lot of people have laughed it off. but it does seem as if it's more likely to happen than ever at this stage in the game. And either way, it seems like a deal could be struck to have a mutual benefit between the United States and the people of Greenland, because they're disillusioned with Denmark right now. So why not take advantage of it? So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Like this video down below, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Red Eagle, out.